warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hari ini saya akan mengikuti Zoom meeting iropin. Apa kabar semua? Sehat? Tadi saya sudah mengisi beberapa soal tes.
Okay, we go to the third slide, which is the history of bifokal. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, history of bifocals. Benjamin Franklin, excellent guy about 400 over years ago, when he had a problem over fire here, he actually got lenses and cut into it. So this is a very smart guy 400 over years ago. So from there, bifocals started. So it was, the next slide, so it was until 1907 that the first concept of progressive lenses come. So in 1959, French designer Endang invented and introduced the first successfully PAL modern design, and then after that he managed to commercially successfully prescribe and manufacture the correct presbyopia. And after that you find that all the digital surveying and all this because of computer successes, and then the lenses just progress. So there's four basic types of progressive lenses. If you want to understand more about what is actually the lenses, it all started with mono design. Then after that it went with symmetrical design, hard design, soft design, long coridor and short coridor, and that's what we're going to talk today. So mono design, what is mono design? Mono design was done many years ago when the same lens can be used for all addition. So the distant portion is big, the near portion is there. And as the addition goes up higher and higher, you can see my middle diagram. When the addition goes up, the area becomes smaller and smaller. So because of that, they realized that this is not a good design. So they came out with a multi design. So as my idea is good, when the addition goes up, it actually hits towards the top. That's what is the multi design. So from a low end to a high end, there is actually a different design. That is known as multi design. So yes, the next one we move to symmetrical design and asymmetrical design. So what is asymmetrical design and symmetrical? So symmetrical design again is a lens that you can have right and left lens the same. You either just turn it up and turn the other way around. But because of this turning, that your eye can reach with the insert, the nasal area will be affected when you roll your eye left and right looking into the peripheral. So again, designers felt that this is not the best idea again because it's going to affect your nasal viewing. So they came out with an asymmetrical design. So after that, they have the right lens and the left lens, and this is about the asymmetrical design. So what is a hard design? A hard design is a lens where there's a lot of far and a lot of near. But when there's a lot of far, a lot of near, there's a lot of waves. There's a lot of changes of power. And that makes the glasses a bit harder to wear compared to a design that is the soft design. Soft design will have lesser far, lesser near, but it's not so big. So those are the soft design. Let's go back. Like for hard design, there's designs like larger change of power, more peripheral distortion than hard design. And then for soft design, there's lesser peripheral distortion. But the only problem of soft design is that your eye has to look very much lower in order to achieve the full power. Okay, so as we move towards the next one, okay, we are talking about the long coridor and the short coridor. So, what is short coridor? So I think in this talk we are talking about short coridor versus the long coridor. So the moment when your coridor is short, every 1 mm that your eye looks downward is actually 2 degrees for you to see the vessel. So if it's a short coridor, the advantage is when you look down, you can read here. So for those people that like a lot of short corridor look, but the thing is that short corridor again doesn't have your printed median, so you cannot see your computer screen clearly. You actually end up having your machine up and you have to go very clear. Something like that for those short corridor. But the advantage is that your eye don't have to rotate that much with the road. So, short corridor important for those who long corridor lenses, you have a lot more, you have your far and comes down, gradually changes those steps, and then when you move around you find that the weight is not so strong. But again, there's other implications of a long corridor lens. So let's move on to the fact that, I saw a basic number. Okay, I was interested. Wow, okay, amazing. Yeah.
Okay, my face, yeah. Okay, my face. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Okay, so the fact is, why was short corridor introduced? Okay, during the time in the 1970s, nobody wears more. When progressive comes in, nobody yet wears more glasses until the 90s. So when the 90s come in, manufacturers have designed lenses so that they can make sizes of vertical height 26, 27, 28. So if they use a normal corridor, which is meant for bigger lenses, by the time they cut to me, it's gone. But again, because of the 90s, we have short corridor, but we also have some advantages of short corridor. But especially at what I see in the 70s, we see a lot of people wearing spectacles. In the 90s, this group of children of the people that's fashionable in the 70s, they don't want to look like their parents. So they make spectacles that small. But today, those people that love the small in the 90s, they would have become 50 years old now. So their children in the 20 plus again don't want to look like that. So they went for the big design now. Okay, just because the kids want to look like their parents. In the 70s, they wear gold color spectacles. Now, they again wear gold color spectacles after 40 years because 20 years ago their father was saying, I don't want shiny gold, I want metal, I want silver, I want antique colors. But these days, any of the 20 years old child will say that you don't want such things, you want to go like that. So again, back to the question, where is small coming back? I wouldn't be surprised it's just a cycle of things. Then eventually small will come back. So, yes, fashion is all about a cycle of many years. Okay, now, the next slide, what is corridor length? Okay, this actually we move into the real gist of today's talk. What is corridor length? Since many years ago, when people spoke about corridor, I always have to scratch my head. And I didn't know what they're talking about because different suppliers will have different type of explanation on corridor length. When you talk to counsel, they will say that it starts from the top pupil area down to the lower reading area. Then if you talk to another company, they may have another opinion. They say, no, it's at the prism point down to the center of the circle there. So everyone has different opinions. And another supplier will tell you that from your distance power, as the power drops somewhere around 10% power, assuming that it's radio on top, by the time when you have about 10%, that's where your corridor starts and put a 90% before your. So it is almost everything that's different, something like that. So everyone gives a different story. So if you're asking me what is a corridor then, for a long time I was scratching my head. Then I was hesitant. Let me just find out a little bit more. And then it seems that it's true, to my understanding, all the suppliers, they all have different ideas of corridor. So should we be using this as a good reference when we order? It's a very good explanation, but we can say that it's just that when you buy a car, you buy a small BB, they'll tell you it's from 3 meters plus, from 3.8. And then you buy a big car, about 5 meters plus. We know that big car is big, small car is small, but we don't know how many seaters is a car. A small car can have 5 seaters, but a big car can only be 4 seaters, something like that. So what is really important? Actually, minimal the height in the next slide, corridor length. So back to what it is, corridor length again. definition of coridor, because everybody will say that it can be described as the intermediate. It's the area that contains the intermediate power. Manufacturer definition is different, so let's look at minimum height. Okay, what is minimum height? The next slide. So, minimum height is from the base of your spectacle frame to your pupil point. Okay, that is the minimum height. So, we know that if you are going to put on a pair of spectacles, you use your ruler and measure. What you have is only 10 meters. We know that this is definitely going to be a very short size. If you measure 16, okay, the specs will have about maybe 26, 27 meters. Then if you are going to measure something that is about 30 to 35 or even 40, that's a big one. Then we know that we have to use the longer corridor. But most of manufacturers, they have this conclusion that about 18 millimeters is actually the perfect height, where when you look far and when you read, that angle that you are looking at gives you the best angle of rotation as well as the reading area that you need. So 18 is always perfect. It's not too heavy, it's not too long, it's not too short. Some of the longer ones can be very long, but I think by the time that you use it, you really have to look until the very base before you use it. So the next slide, which is the real gist of it, factors influencing minimum height, which also can be this title, factors influencing coridor height, something like that. Okay, so about the same, yet it's not the same. So number one, you have your frame size. If it's big, if it's small, you have your shape. How far is the spectacle to your eye? What is the partoscopic tube? How angular? Are you wearing a convex lens? Are you wearing a concave lens? What is your ambition? What's your lifestyle? So the next slide. So this will describe about the frame size. So from the diagram you can see, if we use a small spectacle frame, which is the fashion of small, you use a normal low corridor design. By the time when you cut off the lower portion of the lens, your reading area is almost gone. Okay, so that's the diagram which is on the right side. The left side will show you, yes, if you use a short corridor design, at least the reading area is still easy, but the only problem is the width by the side. Okay, so that is about smaller, shorter frame, you have to use shorter height. So the frame shape, if you are going to use as what was on the picture on the PowerPoint, this is an aviator shape. Okay, aviator shape, number one, because of the curve, if you are looking at somebody using this design with very small PD, you realize that minimum fitting height for this small PD, short PD, will be shorter. If you use something that is same design, again the PD is a bit further, then you can use a longer corridor or even a longer fitting height design. So the frame shape will matter here. So the next PowerPoint, the next slide. Okay, next slide we are talking about vertex distance. If the spectacle that you wear is a lot closer, if you look at the diagram, when it's closer, you already, by tilting your eye a little bit, you actually have that distance compared to a spectacle that's further away. You have to turn more because it's further away. So vertex distance, if the spec is closer, it may not be such long corridor. Because if it's closer and you use a long corridor, your eye may have to rotate a bit downwards. But usually spectacles are not so close because then your eyelashes will be sitting around. Okay, so usually we have about 12 meters back. The next one is the partoscopic tube. If I'm going to put on a pair of spectacles like that, the distance is straight. If I'm going to turn it downwards, sideways like that, okay, automatically it's just like wearing glasses a bit closer. When you tilt again, don't need such long corridor. Okay, if it's going to be very straight, yes, you may need a bit longer corridor. So the next slide. Okay, this is something that is a little bit yes, controversial. Some people say yes, some people say no. Some people say it's all due to adaptation. Once you can adapt, there's no problem. But optically, if you look at the lenses, convex lenses are diverging. Converging lenses. Okay, they converge. So when they converge, you need a bigger area. You need a bigger area, which is likely a corridor or even a below fitting height, in order to see a smaller area. So you definitely need a wider area to see, but usually it's only for very high power device. I think it's +1, +2. So for concave, it is a diverging lens. It goes up. So your small corridor or small lower fitting height for such lenses, you may see wider. So for concave lenses, you don't really need to have such a long fitting height or even a corridor. Okay, so or generally you can even relate this to a single vision lens as well. Okay, the next slide. Progressive addition. So for somebody that is only about 40 years old, the addition is about probably 0.75 often +1. So this group of people, whether you give long corridor, short corridor, they can adapt because the difference is not much. But whereas for somebody in the 70 years old or 60 years old, or say when addition is about 175 to 2 if they have never worn progressive before, you try to give them a short corridor, hard design, high end, when they move, they will find that. So you may, for this group of people with high addiction, you may have to use a longer corridor, something like that, or even longer height. Softer design, so you can have it in the class. Okay, so whereas lifestyle is also another difference. If this person does a lot of reading, so they want to read, they also want to see distance, they also want to see the computer. So computer needs a lot of intermediate zone. So for short corridor design, they have far here, but they don't have the intermediate zone big enough for them to see the computer. So if they are did a lot of computer work, they actually have picture machine that go very near because that's the thing they got no intermediate. But for someone that spends a lot of time outdoors, these people go jogging, running, go fishing. Yes, for fishing they have to buy the hooks, but the thing is that yes, a bit they don't have to tie all the time. So these people when they move around, if you have a long corridor design, you'll find that it's easier to move around without feeling so. If you have a short corridor or minimal height, fitting high lenses, you'll find that it's very hard to move around. So there's a lot to it. You just have to understand what they want. What they want in order to spend them a fair time. Okay, so next slide please. So how to make sure that you know the right height? This is not something that I regularly do, but if I do, that's only when I got no computer. The shape of the lens all very clear or something like that. Then I have to go into that. Number one, what you have to do, put on the specs for your wearer, dot where the pupil is, then take out the lenses, and the level of lenses, draw a horizontal line, which is 13 millimeters down. 1, 2, 3. Then after that, pass something for your client or patient to read. Okay, from that line, you ask them whether when they read, is the line on top or below? Okay, if the line is below, then you know that they are reading a lot higher. If they say that the line is now above, then we know that they are reading a lot lower. So those people that read lower, you know that they need a longer So, or even a longer height. All the suppliers who have their own benefits, so you just have to use the lenses. Outside, if I'm not put the spectacle in the lens, you the shapes there or not. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay. Now back to the success of a progressive lens. Is coridor refraksi height only factor to the success of a progressive lens? No. Number one, subjective refraction is important. You make sure you test the person because let's say this person is a hyperloop of plus 2, okay, and the reading that it is plus 3.5, but you happen to give him a plus 1, and then the addition becomes 2.5. So this person is using unnecessarily one diopter higher for the addition. So this will make the lenses a lot more harder because of the progressive differences between the top and bottom. So subjective refraction is very important, and determining what is the lowest addition power that you need for this level. About 40 years old, to be using one addition, suddenly becomes 2 addition, and suddenly becomes 2.5 addition over a short period of time. Okay, the addition is relative to the age. When a person is 40 years old, the addition is probably about 5.1. Then if the addition, by the time they reach 60 years old, the addition goes to 1.5 to 1.8. For the addition of loop, you have to be somebody that is 60 over years old. So all these will have a span of easily 10 to 15 years. So you will never be able to come to another thing plus 1, a plus 2 or plus 2.5. So it's not like it's always easier to do small that addition. But assuming somebody was to come in and test the eye, and I realized that they are using an H1. And then suddenly, because of the fact that they've been underpowered for the last 10 years, will I be brave enough to give plus 1? I will not be brave enough to give that because I know it's going to be rejected. I will probably increase the
Literally, the question is, this is now basic. So, for example, patient A, when 40 years old, his addition is plus 1, and then his order until plus 2. So, during the plus 1 until addition plus 2, he used a short corridor.